Hello, I hope you all are doing well at home, hopefully in quarantine. I didn't want to post a video about the coronavirus at all, actually, because there's so much content out there, and I would much rather people watch a video or a talk by an infectious disease expert, or even Father Goring's video. I'll link his video below that I really loved. I would much rather you watch something like that instead of my video. But the one thing that I really did want to share about is the 54-day Rosary Novena. If you are watching this video, I just want to encourage you to pray this miraculous 54-day Rosary Novena. I have already seen a miracle from it in my personal life. I prayed for a relative's surgery and long-term success from that surgery, and I have seen success. And through this pandemic, this is a historic pandemic. Like, this is going down in the history books. This is a huge thing that we're dealing with, and it's the time to call out to God and Mother Mary to help us. So this 54-day Rosary Novena, I ask you to pray with the intention to end this pandemic and to strengthen the faith of Catholics, lay, clergy, and bishops. And I heard about this from COVID54daynovena.com. I will link it below. I started the novena this past Sunday, and if you want to pray with me, you just need to make up the couple of days that you missed. So just pray a few rosaries on your first day and you will be all caught up with me. But you can pray this rosary anytime. It would be beautiful for you to start it today or tomorrow, because I believe this pandemic is not going to end swiftly, but who knows? Maybe if we all pray this 54-day Rosary Novena, it will end swiftly. But I started this 54-day Rosary Novena this past Sunday because I'm going to finish on May 14th, which is the feast day of Saint Corona, the patroness of pandemics. I apologize for not getting this video up sooner. Ideally, if I got it up before this past Sunday, I could have got more people to start with me on Sunday. But I noticed on the website it said, if you have any means to share, please share this so more people will pray. So I saw that and I thought, I've got to share about this on my YouTube channel. So definitely check out the website below. It explains why we're praying this novena. At the bottom, it has the method, exactly how to pray the novena. And it also has the background, the miraculous background behind this novena. Basically, a novena is normally 9 days. And this 54-day Rosary Novena is a series of 6 novenas. The first 3 are prayed in petition, and our petition is to end this pandemic and to increase the faith of Catholics worldwide and to end the pandemic worldwide. And then the next 3 novenas are prayed in thanksgiving for this favor. And we pray this 54-day Rosary Novena because Our Lady gave it to us. In 1884, there was a girl who was in terrible pain. Physicians, the top physicians gave up on her. She was an Italian girl, and her relatives prayed a novena, a 9-day novena for healing, for her healing. They called out to God and Mother Mary, and Mother Mary appeared to her, and she gave her these directions to pray this 54-day Rosary Novena, a series of 6 novenas. And she said, whoever wants to receive a favor from me, please pray this 54-day Rosary Novena, the 3 in petition and the 3 in thanksgiving. And we know we can call out to Mary for this grace, for this favor, because just as the saints and the apostles, they performed healings, not because of their own power, but because of the power of God. And I really love how this 54-day Rosary Novena for the pandemic, we are adding at the end of our prayers every day an act of reparation to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, as well as a prayer against epidemics and pandemics. So it's tailored for this situation that we are in right now. So I just encourage you to please pray this 54-day Rosary Novena. A lot of you are at home with extra time on your hands. So it really wouldn't be that big of a sacrifice to pray one rosary every day for the next 54 days. I know some people are at home homeschooling and working, so it's a little harder, but a rosary doesn't take that long. Instead of, watching whatever video you might watch before bed, you could pray this rosary. It would mean so much to me and the world if you pray this rosary. So that's really all I wanted to share, but since I'm already on here, I might as well talk about the situation that we're in. I hope you all are staying home. I understand if you need to leave the home, for your livelihood, if you can't work from home, but I was thinking, okay, pretty much everyone has gotten the message. They're staying home, but my husband updated me and, he's seen in some states, like people are still congregating like in the hundreds, in the thousands. And he's seen reporters in different countries interview people just walking around like, what are you doing out? And they're like, oh, well, I'm young and I'll be fine if I get it. And it's just so frustrating that people don't understand the spread of this virus. And it's not, if you can handle it or not, but we're trying to control the spread so that the vulnerable people, the people with underlying conditions, the people over the age of 60 is not that old, by the way, for these people who will not survive this virus if they don't get the care that they need. And, in the US, for example, we don't have the medical infrastructure to give everyone the care that they need if they all get sick at the same time, which is what has already happened in Italy. It's so sad that, people needed a ventilator for 2 or 3 days, but there were too many people that needed a ventilator all at the same time. So people have already died. I read a beautiful story though of an Italian priest who, I believe he was 72. He was on a ventilator, but he gave it up for a younger person to live, and he died. So I'm sure he will be canonized. It's a beautiful, sacrifice that he made, but, this doesn't need to happen in the US. If we reduce the spread, then we won't overwhelm our hospitals, and hopefully everyone who needs a ventilator will have a ventilator. And I was reading an article about why people can't understand, can't grasp, what we're doing here, why we're staying home and reducing the spread. And it really comes down to exponential math. It's a poor math literacy. I mean, it's not a hyped situation that we're in, it's math. And I'll put an article linked below. I'm not a mathematician, but I have mathematicians in my family, and you can't deny the facts, you can't deny the math. We know how this virus spreads, and we know if the vulnerable all get it at the same time, we don't have the medical infrastructure to treat them and to help them survive, to help them to breathe. And people with underlying conditions, some of these conditions are very common: asthma, diabetes. Your next door neighbor who looks super young and healthy could have asthma and could be at risk of not being able to breathe if they get this virus. So they need that care. They need the support in the hospital and a ventilator. And I was talking about this with my husband, and I think there are many reasons why we're, a bit more vigilant, I guess, about staying home. But one of them is the fact that my husband aspirated after a surgery years ago, and he could not breathe on his own. He had to be taken in an ambulance to an ER, put on a ventilator. No physicians told me any comforting words that he will get through this, because when someone can't breathe on their own and they need a machine to push that air into their lungs, that is not a for sure, like they're gonna get past this situation. When someone can't breathe on their own, the staff is going to support them however they can, antibiotics to fight the pneumonia and the ventilator to keep them breathing. But it's up to the body to overcome the pneumonia and, in this case, the virus which causes pneumonia. And it was so scary. And I'm so grateful that my husband received that care and that support. He was in the hospital for a week. Once he got off the ventilator, he still got, respiratory breathing treatments and antibiotics, and he fought off the pneumonia. But it was scary. I know, not firsthand, but once removed, I know someone who has died from exactly what happened to my husband, from an aspiration after a routine surgery. All surgeries come with risks. So I think because my husband and I know what that looks like, we know what it looks like for someone to not be able to breathe. And the fact that so many Italians couldn't breathe and needed that support, and they didn't have the medical infrastructure, didn't have enough ventilators, and many died, is just heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. And today, unfortunately, I know someone who has passed in the US from the coronavirus. It's not someone I know personally, but it's once removed. So a lot of people in my network knew this person, and it's so sad. Please stay home if you can, so that we can reduce the spread, and the vulnerable people who have underlying conditions, who are over 65, if and when they get the coronavirus, there will be enough hospital beds and ventilators to support their bodies, to fight it off, and to live and breathe. But I do understand if you need to leave home for your livelihood. Also, the Eucharist. I love Father Goring's video. I'll link it below. It's a short video, just watch it. But, he explains that, hello, the Eucharist is Jesus, the divine healer of every ill. So I actually love that my parish priest is the only priest in my city who has not canceled one single mass. And he has done this safely, though. He has followed the directions of our bishop, and our bishop has been following the CDC guidelines. So once, the CDC said no more than 100 should meet, while other parishes just canceled all masses, my priest put a sign on the door that only 100 can attend this mass. Doors will be closed after 100 have attended, and he posted it on the website and everything. And so there's someone at the door counting all the people, and if and when 100 people entered, the doors were closed, and only one door was open. All the other doors were closed. And he continued to do that as the CDC recommendations came down to 50, and now they're at 10. So he still has not canceled one single mass, and I just think he's just such a beautiful witness to the Eucharist. I mean, he's canceled everything else, all the classes and everything. All of that can be done at home, on Zoom, on Skype, but the Eucharist is Jesus, and I just think it's so beautiful, such a beautiful witness that he has not canceled one single mass. If you wanted to be one of those lucky 10 to go to mass at my parish, you just have to call the day before and reserve your spot. And with the priest and the deacon, actually only 8 people can attend each mass. And he also videotapes the mass and streams it online. So, if you're vulnerable, just stay home. You can watch a mass online, or if you think you've been exposed, if you're still working outside the home, I hope you stay home and, other than work, and just watch a mass online. But, if you're perfectly healthy, you've been staying home, I do think it's beautiful for people to still go to mass, but safely. In a big old church with only 10 people, the priest and the deacon are up at the altar. So with just 8 people in the church, you can have 10 pews to yourself and be very safe and use hand sanitizer and all of that. In my husband and I's case, we have been extremely careful for a variety of reasons. I don't want this video to get too long, but we traveled a lot during the Christmas season. We were overseas for most of the Christmas season. And when we got back in January, we decided that I would completely stop flying because of the coronavirus. Even though that I had this beautiful gift that I could fly regularly, but my husband and I, we do not mess around with outbreaks. We did the same for Zika. We made life changes like immediately. So I stopped flying. I missed the women's conference in Ohio. I was gonna meet Kenzie, the overnight mom. I had that on my calendar for like 6 months. I was like, I'm definitely going to this. But because of the coronavirus, I did not go because I did not want to fly. And I was so excited to meet her. She's super genuine, super sweet. You can tell. Check out her channel. She's a beautiful Catholic woman. I was going to meet another Catholic YouTuber and maybe more because some of us were talking about it. But she's the only one that I'm going to mention because she posted about it on her channel. So I know I'm not, revealing locations or anything like that. But there might have been some other Catholic YouTubers that were going to be there. So I was excited to meet them too. But I don't know if they've shared about it on their channel. Always want to be careful about people's privacy and their location. And I let them all know. We have a little group and I posted, I was planning on going to this conference because of the coronavirus. I'm canceling. So that was in January that I completely stopped flying. My husband and I also canceled road trips. I actually haven't seen my family in 2020 at all. I had planned to see my family, but I canceled that road trip. I did one road trip for the March for Life. That's it. And I stopped working outside of the home about 2 weeks ago. My husband hasn't been working outside of the home since January. He did do one road trip a couple weeks ago, but he was so careful and he had to go. It was for our livelihood. That's one of the exceptions that we understand. I understand if other people have to leave for their livelihood, but he was so careful. He used Apple Pay to pay for his gas, paid with his phone so he didn't have to touch anything. And, he brought like Clorox wipes if he did have to touch something, and he didn't meet up with people in the city he was in. He just did what he had to do professionally and came home. And when he came home, we took the extra precaution in case he picked it up. We actually quarantined ourselves from each other. So we've been sleeping in separate beds, using separate bathrooms, not kissing or anything, which has been a sacrifice, but we want to do our part and reduce the spread. But we are getting lots of sunshine and fresh air. I'll link an article below about the evidence for sunshine and how it's beneficial for getting over illness faster, reducing the spread, and we have this evidence from the Spanish flu, for example. So I will link that below. And so I'm definitely all for the sunshine, definitely get outside, but just keep a distance from people. So I'm all for the bike riding and the walks and everything. I walk my dog, Scruffy, every single day, and I am not close to any other person. A neighbor might be like across the street or something. I'll just say hi, but no close interaction at all. Anyway, during this time, I hope you give a lot of time to God. There's so many beautiful masses you can watch online. I'll link below. Live adoration, I'll link that below. Magnificat is free until May. I think that's so beautiful that they did that. I know Walking with Purpose is doing some reflections on readings that you can use, for the upcoming Sunday readings. Think of all the retreats that you've wanted to go on, silent retreats. You just haven't had time. Now's the time. You can create your own retreat. It's a beautiful time to spend time communing with God at home. I know a lot of languages, their word for Lent means 40 days, and the word quarantine means 40 days. So it's just kind of crazy that this is happening during Lent, and I think God is calling out to us to give time to Him. And I'm telling this to you, but I'm also telling this to myself. I've shared about my endometriosis diagnosis. Like, I have so much fatigue. My spring allergies are in full effect. So it is rough. I am on the struggle bus. I just want to lay on the couch with my dog all the time, but I have got to pray my rosary. I'm definitely praying the 54-day Rosary Novena. So excited for that. And I have my little book for Lent, which I love. I'm so behind in my reading. I have so many books to read. and the Magnificat, downloaded that on my phone. Oh, also, I have all of my giveaway items. I'm so grateful to you for subscribing, but I don't know when I'll do this giveaway because that would involve me going to the post office. I know I can print postage at home, but I've tried it before, and with giveaway items, they're like different sizes and you know, different shaped boxes, and it's just difficult. I kind of need to go to the post office to do this, and I'm really not leaving the house at all. So I don't know when the giveaway will be, but it will happen at some point, and I'm so grateful to you for subscribing. So thank you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you give lots of time to God. I hope you stay home. Please stay home. By staying home, you are protecting the vulnerable who need medical support if they get this virus in order to breathe, in order to live. And we just don't have the medical infrastructure for everyone to get it at the same time. So we can't all just live our lives as we normally do because the spread will be so much faster and our hospitals will be overwhelmed. So please stay home if you can, and please pray this amazing, miraculous 54-day Rosary Novena. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Bye.